Welcome to Heaven Percent, a podcast dedicated to bringing heaven to earth. I'm Jimmy. This is one of my greatest friends in the whole world, Alex Karnev, and we are absolutely excited to experience and explore what it looks like, feels like, and even sounds like to bring heaven to earth and bring the divine to the ordinary. Tap in, fam.
Amen.
Shazam.
Amen, Shazam.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's been the update, man, is just my environment's been challenging me in a lot of different ways, and it's awesome. And
Well said.
I'm noticing that, like, as a person, I'm proud of who I am, yet there's also so much I want to do, and that's still, a desire of mine that's like, can we just go get it started,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll ask this. Do you think that all the trials, tribulations, and unfortunate variables in your life are equipping you to become more for when you go to where you ought to go?
Yeah, and I also feel like that's what's part of me can't get angry about it either. The
Yes.
fact that I feel like my environment doesn't really like mirror my energy and like, authenticity, abundance. It's like I can't get mad at anyone. I can't get mad at the big man. I can't get mad at life because I know it's working for me. It's just my individual preference, I guess, is like, why can't this just be quicker or something?
Yeah. More simple.
So
People not be idiots. That'd be great.
yeah, or
All those
like,
things.
yeah, and I think that's what's beautiful, and maybe that's what we could talk about is like the perseverance and the trust, and yeah, just knowing like what needs to happen for your quest. And I think that for me, I'm also getting to a point where I'm recognizing that so much of me wants to begin my life because my life looks like what I desire and I want to create my life this way. And I'll ask you this, how much of death comes to mind and life after life comes to mind when you think of just being alive every day? Because so many people, including myself, fall into the trap of, I need to create my life. Like, I want these amount of clients. I want this house. I want this car. I want this social congruence in my life, versus remembering that like this human experience is not forever, and like a lot of people say this is just like the training ground for what's to come afterwards in heaven. And I wanted to know what you think about that, because
Love
if I
that.
remember that, it helps.
Yeah, 100%. I think that whenever you look at every single situation, to know that every situation is an experience, and therefore it's not good or bad, right? It might be higher or lower frequencies and suck a little more or a little less. Yet in the midst of that experience, it is an experience and it is meant for you to develop. It is meant for you to grow deeper in feedback from muscles, from emotions, from spirit, from mind, like all those things. So I think that that experience, falling in love with the experience, regardless of what the experience is the art and the secret of life. Yeah, really. And it's hard, by the way, at times. And I think that in the midst of the hard, in the midst of the experience, how focused can we remain on the life that God allows us to create? Because He's in control, period. Yet I get to be responsible still. I still get to play a part on the action, on the be, and on the do. God's responsible for the have in the end. Like, I'm responsible for the actions, God's responsible for the results. And when I look at it like that, I am only responsible for my experience and trusting that God, the universe, energy is for me, even in the midst of suck. Like, the suck is literally for me. Like, when this person, bro, there were so many moments this week where someone came at me all wrong, bro. Even on TikTok. Someone commented on one of my videos and I didn't delete it. Because sometimes people are just idiots and I'll just delete it, right? Like they're just so trolling. I'm like, no. But this dude was like, squeeze at the top, little bro. And it's when I was doing a video for these cuffs. I was doing like this.
Oh, some lifting advice. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, buddy. Man, did he have some advice, right? And I go look at his profile, and this is actually, it is judgment. It's pure judgment. I'm looking right at him. I'm like, okay, you got some big arms, solid chest and back, and your belly is there. Your legs are small. Like, who are you talking to? Right? Like, if you want to give me advice, at least, be ahead of me. But you don't. You're not ahead of me anywhere. So, and that's my ego talking too, but it's like, So I'm ready to like smash this dude and be like, I commented back first with a little bit of ego and I was like, oh, for sure, bro. Like, in fact, you'll have to get the straps. And once you get them from my link, let me know what you're talking about. Show me what you're saying. And he's like, he just puts the laughing emoji. He's like, I'm not going to get you a commission, bro. It's like, then get the hell out of my face. Like, get out of my life. Like, you're just a negative loser. And I was about to be like, oh, you know what? That's even better. In fact, why don't you scroll a little more and find my Flybird ab machine and do some of that because you really need it. Now, I didn't say that, but man, was I ready to just unleash.
Yeah.
You pathetic human is where I was at. And so I prayed. It's like, God, help me. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. No, I'm just kidding. But I was totally in sin too. And I was like, man, like, God, how can you bring your reason, love, and light out of this? Well, it's not going to happen with that comment. Very well, at least, right? And so instead I said something like very neutral and very honoring in a way. And he literally commented back something nice. And then I saw him go to my page. And if you look at my third video on TikTok, second or third, it's me talking on that podcast about, I wish that someone could have told me that it's okay to not be okay. And just like a spiritual talk from a podcast that I was on. And he loved it and he saved it. I was like, a seed was just sown. In the midst of me holding back my tongue.
And it also explores the reason why somebody were to be negative is because they're not okay.
Right.
Yeah.
He was dumping some garbage.
Yeah, and it also shows that part of you that doesn't feel okay yet.
Right. Same. Yeah. Why did it trigger me so much? Perfect.
Yeah, and the same with me, when there's physical activity where people are fighting each other right in front of me and I'm just so done with it and I'm frustrated with other people. That's also showing me what's not okay yet in me. Like, yeah.
Well said. And listen to that anger. Listen to that frustration. So let's literally label those real quick. So if we label my anger and frustration, it was someone who is lacking awareness in their own life and lacking effective communication. And most likely all of that builds into a quality relationship with himself, right? And so that anger is revealing my purpose. And it's very similar to you in your ability to create art and also allow people to tap into their authentic selves in their creator realm. None of those motherfuckers are doing that. And that's why they're acting like that. So it's cool to see how your avatar and my avatar are so similar and our missions are similar. And that we get angry, frustrated, and pissed off when people are missing out.
Yeah.
And it does take away from our experience too, yet that experience allows us to tap into more of what we do want and what we are going to continue to create. I
Yeah,
swear, bro,
which
you and
is
I, we're
yeah.
gonna talk about this 7% freaking work, school and community and all these things, group calls. It's gonna blow up. I literally just
Yeah.
had so much confirmation yesterday about real producers, and it's not gonna be my one-on-one coaching that's gonna blow up. What's gonna blow up is the group calls. And it's gonna get you people that want to work closely, more closely with you, and people that are gonna work more closely with me. And it's going to be amazing because we're going to pass the puck beautifully and we're going to score points. And when I say score points, I don't mean make money. I mean score points in the way of like making impact, which then brings money and gets me super pumped because it's
Hmm.
coming. It literally is teed up so well right now, bro.
I know.
And
Yeah.
it's very divine because that's going to also excel your ability to get the hell out of the environment you're in.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 I I always think about like what do you and I offer to people as well with Heaven% and also just the podcast here, our school community, and I think it's just a family of people who all want the
Family.
same thing, which is
Family.
abundance and authenticity,
Yes.
and like
Yes.
close relationships, being
Yeah.
able to live on the planet in the way that they know is possible. Like when I
Right.
went to this mastermind in Medellin and suddenly everyone around me was an entrepreneur, everyone around me was connected to God, everyone around me was doing something cool,
Yeah.
inspiring. Like, man, the level of authenticity that
Mm.
everybody experienced was otherworldly. And
Right.
I'm so happy that like that's the standard and like that's what we get to create and exceed and expand on because yeah, man, it's a family.
Right.
And
Right.
I don't know if you remember my old community. You popped in once in a while, but I had a community and I was also part of a bigger community. And if I wasn't in that community, man, I would not be here. I would not be this confident or this
Mm.
just like seen, loved, accepted. I feel like there's so much of a community and just a family
Mm.
where even if it is through school community, online, and in-person masterminds, like dude, it's gonna change so many lives in ways that we can't even understand yet.
Right. Seriously. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. It's family, it's community, it's awareness building with people that want it
Mm-hmm.
and like-minded human beings. And so I love that. Like I was looking back on my Abundance Coaches Assembly call, right? So we're gonna have Heaven% calls, and maybe I'll open up another one that's like once every other week or once a month. That's like abundance assembly, not coaches. Abundance. Let's assemble abundance, right? And I noticed that in the coaches assembly, I had people that were on for more than a year,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like over 2 years for some. Because I had it for like 2.5 years, 2 or 3 years. And bro, like all of them continue to come back. And I remember Trinez, I'll give her a shout out here, love her to death. But she's in Canada, she's in Toronto. And she did a breakthrough session with me. And after the breakthrough session, she fell in love and had a relationship with her parents again. Like all this amazing stuff. Like I still need a testimonial from her. But it's like she then stayed with me, right? And the coaches assembly said, I need to do this with other people too, right? Because she's actually like a 7 levels coach, which is different than NLP. But I was coaching her to be a coach. And I had like anywhere from 5 to 15 people on it, right? But she was the one that was forever. And I loved how she always showed up. And there were times where she's like, I didn't want to show up today. But I told myself that I know that whenever I get off your call, I'm better. I feel seen.
Mm.
I feel understood. I feel aware of my situation and what's going on. And I'm able to like take it on so much better internally and externally. I was like, amazing, right?
Thank
And
you.
literally all we were doing was going through our table of abundance with the chairs and then hitting some topic and just being a family, checking
Yeah.
in. you know?
Yeah, this just being a family, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all it was,
And
which is
dude,
a skill.
I'm seeing so many people, and it's kind of sad actually. I'm seeing so many people that are entrepreneurs, that are close friends of mine, that still aren't thinking about that. They want to build a business. They want to build this like thing. They want to close people, but it's still kind of like that. You know that mentality I'm talking about, like 10K a month, 15K a month, 3 clients. Let's get the DM automations going. Let's get like the marketing set. Let's value, you know? And
Right.
it's this system that works, but it's just a system. Like the soul isn't in there. And when the soul isn't in there, there isn't that connection and there isn't that family.
Right.
Yet that's why, like, dude, this podcast, it's like it's hard to believe that it won't work. Right. And
Right.
I mean, if it doesn't work, then we just haven't made enough episodes yet, you know?
Right. Period.
Because the level of soul that gets witnessed in these calls and the level of vulnerability that gets witnessed,
Right.
that is like, oh, I know this person on a deeper layer. I know the real version of Jimmy. You know, I know the real version of Alex because they're not just trying to hammer us with value and say the right thing. You know, it's actually an art form being that vulnerable. So yeah, man, we're doing so much right. And I honestly, like, I feel like it's just a matter of time before our success actually teaches others as well.
Well said. That's well said. You know what I love too? Like the know part. So to know me, to know you, is to be aware. And even aware of our awareness and what we build, what we explore on this podcast. And that them knowing more of us allows them to know more of themselves.
Yeah.
The moments, our aha moments, our building and sharpening together allows people to be like, I have a very similar situation. And I absolutely saw, heard, and felt everything you said. And wow, nothing has
I,
changed in my situation except for me. And now everything has
yeah.
changed.
Sorry, I just love the little accent.
Yeah, yeah. I love you.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm learning that too though, dude. Every time I hang out with people, every time I have good conversation with someone, I learn more about me because you are just reflecting
We're united.
like me back to me, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
within that I learn more about you. It's so cool.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that expression teaches us about ourselves.
And, you know, a lot of people, I think, miss out on that because they don't have a good relationship with themselves. They can never have a good relationship with anyone else. So they don't know how to listen. They don't know how to pick up on the things that you're going through and to know you better because they don't know themselves at all. But even if you don't know yourself, you have to sometimes go external to other people and learn how to listen to learn and learn to listen so that something might come through. And you finally start to go from here to here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I feel like something that came up yesterday as I was at the gym is just how awesome Eminem is at rapping. I'm like, man, this guy's so like he's a
Amazing.
lyrical genius. Like he's so good. He's like the best of all time according to
Right.
many people. And he said something in one of his songs, I forget which one, but he goes, "Are you smart enough to feel stupid?" He said something like that, and I'm like, man, if we
Wow.
just all put our little pride aside, our sense of self, and we
Right.
all just opened up ourselves to feel stupid, that's actually the smartest thing we can do because then we get to be vulnerable and like
Right.
share that vulnerability with people. Yeah, are you smart
That's
enough to feel stupid?
that's good. That's so
Yeah.
good.
I feel like you said that 10 years ago too. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Well, dude, that's so beautiful. I mean, How many people won't say anything from the fear of looking stupid and therefore not belonging? People are just silent. Which, I mean, that is wise sometimes. Sometimes the wisest person in the room is the one that says few words, right? They hold their tongue. But they're not just holding their tongue to not look stupid. They're holding their tongue to listen more. They're holding back their tongue to hear more of what's going on, gather more evidence and information to make an educated decision on what they're going to say. And then when they do say something, it's like, whoa. But that's the positive polarity of being silent. There's also the negative polarity of being silent, and the reasons and motives and baggage beneath is much different.
Dude, it just triggered something in me because I feel like a lot of people see that I'm silent after someone says something. Like you speak to me, right? And
Yeah.
I go silent for a little bit, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, like he's wise. He's like really taking it in, right?" But the truth is, for whatever reason, my brain doesn't process what people say as quickly sometimes. So a lot of the time when you say something, I'm pausing just because my brain is still calculating what you said. So I feel like that's where the silence that I do have can be seen as wise, yet it's really just me. It's really just me processing. So in that case, it's like that power is actually humbleness.
Yeah.
I'm
humility.
not even, yeah, I'm just processing it, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, what's crazy is, and I love your humility in saying what you just said, everyone needs to process like that if they could, if they knew they could. Everyone needs to take a damn second, shut your mouth, let there be some silence, and then respond. It's the same thing of like our brain catching up to the thoughts that we have when I say and like and you know and all those filler words. Shut your mouth and let your brain process through the whole damn thing you're experiencing right now to communicate effectively. Like, like this or that. You said two effing words, and the filler words were more words than what you actually said. Dang, you know? I think that we have two
So
ears and
silly.
one mouth for a reason, and that it's not just because I'm supposed to listen to you. I'm also supposed to listen to myself. Like listen inside your brain before you respond. Listen and have a conversation with yourself real quick. That's okay. If you just said something profound, maybe it's wise for me to say, I love that. Hold on one second. Or I'm just sitting here thinking. And I love that approach. That's exactly what you do, Alex. Like right now, I just said something cool and you're like,
Yeah. I'm like, what did he say?
yeah.
Or
Or
I'm
just,
like,
you
you
just
said
process.
this. What is this? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm always looking for the meaning. It is one of the things that I'm good at. That's why I want to do the storytelling for
Yeah.
100 days to transmute meaning. And I'm always trying to find the meaning. And that's the conversations I don't want to be a part of, is when there's not enough time for meaning. You know, and when you don't take the second to process, what does this mean for Jimmy sharing this with me? Oh, this means that he's probably struggling internally if he's struggling externally in this way.
There'd be so many less fights, less wars, less turmoil if we all thought like that.
Yeah, if we all looked at like the deeper meaning.
Yeah. Search for the meaning instead of just living aimlessly.
Yeah, you know what I noticed too about filler words?
What's that?
There's a level of uncertainty and humbleness that filler words provide. Right there, I caught myself saying like to promote a more open interpretation of what we're talking about. Versus if I were to use no filler words, it's like more of a statement. So what that looks like is maybe it closes the loop and makes me feel more certain and makes the whole conversation feel more like you can't disagree with me if I sound more uncertain, then it gives you permission to disagree with me. That's what I'm noticing. That's maybe why there's some filler words, especially the word like or you know. That's my experience.
Yeah. So you see that filler words are okay sometimes.
I don't know if they're okay. I don't know. And I think
Yeah.
that's where the art can begin.
Well, I'm writing out in my notes right now, like how we're talking about using filler words and thinking about the meaning of what someone said and what you could say after reflecting on what they said to actually provide a responsive communicative experience involving the meaning.
So it'd be
Yeah.
like a sniper. They're
Yeah.
sniping to the core of what they mean when you respond.
Yeah. Yet many miss the meaning and skip the meaning, and thus they skip out on the purposeful connection with self and the other person or
Yeah.
persons they're communicating with.
Sometimes I think it's from fear of being misperceived as well, because a lot of the time you can say something, but it's unless you say it exactly with the way you mean it with boldness, you could be like, oh, like you're an asshole. Why would you say that? So a lot of people aren't completely honest in the words they choose, so they try to say something without saying the actual words.
Now go back to the asshole part.
Yeah.
Re-experience that with me. Say it again.
So if I tell you something, let me see. I bring up something to you that's like been bugging me. Let's say I don't like your glasses. Let's say your glasses are like ridiculous. They're
Mm.
not, but for this
Yeah.
example, they're like ridiculous. They don't look good
To you.
to me. Yeah, and like let's say to most people, right? I could be like, Jimmy, your glasses look terrible. Obviously, that's not effective. I could say, Jimmy, those glasses, where'd you get them? It's a little bit more effective, right? Because now it's a question. I could say, Jimmy, I don't like those glasses on you. That's just my opinion. I could say like all these different things,
Yeah.
and there's a harsh boldness and a truth that makes it more of a statement. Or I could kind of weave around being an asshole and just saying the fact how, I judge it or how I see it. And I could say, like, Jimmy, like, where'd you get those? Like, that's a interesting choice. So now it's up to the other person to see if it's negative or positive, and then we keep
Right.
diving deeper. And maybe I ask you what you like about them, and then I figure out that you don't even like them, or you don't know if you like them.
Yeah.
And then I say, like, it's definitely different. I don't know if I'd ever wear something like that, and if you want to keep wearing them, cool. And if you don't, that's also great.
Right.
So it's in that way, I'm not being perceived as someone who is judging, but in another way that I communicate, that's directly my opinion from A to B can be seen as extremely disrespectful. So
Well,
that's where I don't know where to dance around the topic.
yeah, it's hard to decipher opinion from fact,
Yeah.
right? Because, like, my opinion of your hat is not a fact,
Yeah, and that's,
right?
yeah.
And I think that in the midst of the fear part, like, I was even gonna, like, you could use the glasses, the hat thing, or the perception of how you're communicating on something, and then for me to call you out on a pattern or lovingly call you in on it. But regardless of how I do that, sometimes it doesn't matter if what's going on in your head and heart and me not observing those cues can lead to you saying, you're such an asshole. Like, why are you such an asshole? And then it's like, okay, there's things that are going on inside of you and the meaning that you have attached to it that are creating what you're saying. And we create it together. Because I used to believe the NLP presupposition that communication is the response we get, which is very true, right? Like if I'm talking to you and then all of a sudden you just blow up, I'm like, wow, like there's something that I said that created that response within you. However, I think it's even more leveled up to where, no, we create that response together. So what I said could have been ineffective, and what's going on inside of you, your interpretation, your perception, or your perception and thus your interpretation is what's gauging and creating you to experience what you're experiencing and say what you're saying to me in a super negative way. So we both created that together. It's not all on me. And I think that's powerful because, like, one thing when we were looking at the shift between bottom up and top down processing, like both can happen together. So like top down processing is like a lot of times you'll lead with, you know what a schema is? So a schema is like an experience that you've had, and this is how it's built. Like all white males are jackasses or something like that. Like it's a generalization. So it's a schema you built up from an experience of getting robbed or jumped or hurt in different ways. And a few of those have built up that schema that you have now. Then there's assumptions, expectations, and then what I think this is about. So in conversation, this shows up as like autopilot listening, and you hear a few words, and then your brain predicts the meaning. And then from that meaning, you like start building your reply before the person is even done. And so then the filler words often increase in this situation with top-down processing because your mouth is buying time while your brain is rushing to fit whatever they said into a familiar pattern. And then you're like, you missed out all the meaning because you're skipping the meaning and you think you already know what was meant because you didn't even entertain it. Wow. Versus bottom-up processing is you lead with incoming data. So you look at tone, you look at pauses, you look at timbre, pitch, word choice, emotion, context, like what was actually said, right? And then you let the message land first. So you shut your damn mouth and you listen, and then you build meaning from the ground up before you respond. So this is more like reflective. Notice I said like, this is more reflective listening and like real attunement and social awareness. And in NLP, it's called sensory acuity. So filler words tend to drop when someone slows down because the pause is intentional instead of like unconscious or subconscious.
Seems like curiosity is the thing that you get to follow when truly listening to someone because you're exploring what they're actually saying, right?
Yeah. Right. So if you're skipping meaning, you're probably doing top-down processing.
And that's when you cut people off, I assume.
Right. Yeah, and make assumptions. It's the negative polarity essentially is what it leads to. Because like when you're reflecting on meaning before responding, that's bottom-up processing, and you've got controlled top-down integration. Because top-down still happens. You still have your schemas and your programming and your baggage and all the stuff that's in there. But you're allowing top-down processing to be, instead of just processing, it's integration. It's like, what am I thinking and feeling here? And so the social psychology bridge is that it like really maps into the dual process lane. Because sometimes there's autopilot replies that are more heuristic and called the system 1 processing. That's the autopilot. And then there's meaning-based reflection that's more systematic processing that we do, and that's called system 2. And it's more leveled up. And I was obsessed with this stuff in social psychology class. And in my undergrad, it wasn't even in my doctorate. But like, so when we're doing this, talking about this on the podcast, like most people listen top down. They predict the meaning. They respond with their prediction, right? And then you could respond with the actual meaning that was delivered.
Ah, I see. And then that's when you ask questions as well, is to dive deeper into the true meaning, and then you can snipe it with,
Right.
like, when the time is right, with
Right.
any kind of further exploration, and
100%.
maybe like some guidance in the exploration of your expertise.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find this interesting because, dude, I've been thinking about this a lot, and it's been twice now that I've been recommended Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. And I'm like, huh. So when someone recommends me something twice, I know to read it and to check it out. And something that I'm noticing, though, is in great communication, it's exactly what we're talking about. It's diving deeper, finding the true meaning, reflecting, exploring with one another. And I find that when it comes to religions, and especially like certain religion, it's almost like that gets thrown out the window for a lot of people. And it's almost like straight to recommendation, straight to the advice. It's like, I'm telling you, hey man, like I'm feeling like I can't really like feel God's presence or whatever when I pray. And then the guy I'm telling this to is just like, go here right now, open the book, read this, you'll be saved. Don't worry, or you'll go here. Versus the way that we're communicating now, I feel like is so much more effective for people who are feeling indifferent or taboo or tense around religion. Because I do believe that like so much of Christianity in the Bible and so much of it, it would change their lives completely. Yet the whole relationship with getting people to, feel that inner fascination and curiosity and like, I don't know what to call it, but like that urge to get more out of this life.
Yeah.
That can't be explored from communicating in a way that just points them somewhere. It's got to be like this effective way that we're talking about here and now, where it's exploratory and you almost awaken something in someone else and they go and they do it themselves.
This is about to get lit.
I love this conversation though, man, because I'm noticing so much about communication is like, you can say the same thing around two different groups of people and feel completely accepted and completely rejected. It's crazy.
Dude.
Same tone, same everything. I want to ask you about, a lot of people see the passion. Even, when I watch George Janko and his wife doing the podcast and like how beautiful their relationship is and how strong like their faith is and everything, I see that and I'm like, that's like pretty nice. It's a pretty nice, pretty nice energy that's there.
I love
And I forget what his name is. I think it's Pete Holmes or something. He's a comedian and he's like super conscious, I guess you could say. And George is explaining him like certain Bible verses and different ways. Like he talks about Christianity and God and just like the embodiment of it. And Pete's just there and he's like, that's very oppressive. And like the way you're explaining this, it's like, it's very like it's your thing, it's cool, but like there's a bigger truth to reality that you're missing here. And both of these energies, one leading with consciousness and like science and logic, you could say, and one leading with Christianity and faith and love, I guess you could say, with George Janko, I find that people don't know how to experience the connection to God. And same with me, man. Like I felt it. I've felt disconnected from it. And, I love talking to people about it. Yet when I do talk to people about it, it just seems like I can't get a word in. So that's the problem, I think, is it's so much like, this is the truth, this is the truth, this is the truth. It's like, okay, So many people are saying that, but like, why? Like, if it's within me, why are you? Why is it like a conversation where you're telling me what it is if it's within me? You know, like, how about we explore whatever's within me? You
Right.
know, so that's just how I feel. I feel like it's
Listen to that. That's a lot of Christians that are
I guess, yeah, you could say
still
that.
showing up in a top-down processing.
Yeah, so that's why I think you you're doing very well with exploring and sharing, because I feel like so many people who subscribe to any religion or any belief, any belief, are just too eager to tell everyone about it. And
That's so good.
that in nature, like if you look at the actual laws of the universe, if you are just sharing your beliefs, what does that do? It gets everyone to question them. It gets some people to believe them super hardcore, and it gets some people to disagree with them. You know, that's what happens when you share your beliefs, versus I feel like now that you're level 33 and you've grown like in consciousness and just life experience, you're not frankly like an idiot when it comes to helping people with this.
Well said.
Yeah.
I love you so much. Frankly, an idiot. You're that.
Yeah. I don't know. I say that because I've just had so many experiences where
Yeah.
it's just
Where if you just
it's
prayed and believed, you'd be fine.
yeah, it's just sad. It just makes you feel so dumb and worthless,
Right.
Like, oh, you don't go to church, like, well, good luck. You didn't do this, good luck.
High
Have a good
horse.
life. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's that high horse energy. Like, my beliefs about the world and about God and about heaven and about like whatever. My beliefs are this. Like, try to keep up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like there's like, dude, people would love to get into this stuff. You know how many people would absolutely love to connect with God? You know how many people are so scared,
Right.
but they don't even want to take a step in that direction because now suddenly there's all of these different people telling them what to do.
Right. Well, and
Telling them
that's
how
also their
yeah.
top-down processing as well. Right.
Yeah.
Both parties have top-down processing in those moments. They both have schemas and assumptions and experiences that they build up to their jadedness to where they don't even ask questions.
Yeah. Holy crap, dude. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, and I only bring this up because this happened yesterday where I couldn't get a word in, And it's like I don't know why that happens. Like when somebody is sharing their point of view, I can listen. Yet like that's all that's going to happen is that I'm just going to listen, There's no seed being planted, I feel like. Yeah.
Say that again.
If people just share their point of view, there is no seed that is planted because all I'm doing is listening. And maybe if I listen deep enough, with enough compassion, maybe that it plants something in me. But it's very hard to like be inspired by someone telling you an absolute truth in like a statement kind of way, like in a yeah. What I'm learning, bro, is the more someone says I know, the more I recognize that their brain has stopped exploring that thing.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
When you say I don't know, your brain literally keeps working to explore every topic you don't know. When you say I know, your brain's like, I know it, let's go on to something else.
Dang.
So that's the problem. I know God, I know the truth, I know this. It's like, okay, how? Like, like where did this come from? It's
I love that.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know God. And a better statement could be, I love God. I
And how
continue to
much more are
find
you
more of God.
learning as well?
Yeah, I continue to find more of God in me and how He made me as an unfinished masterpiece. I continue to find more of the truth that He's shown me through this perfect book. Yeah. And how I get to continue to see like the thousands of hyperlinks throughout it. I love that. When I say I know, brain is done thinking. It's a safe escape to not have to explore anymore.
Ah, it provides safety. Because I know it, I'm good,
You
right?
don't need to you don't need to ask me any questions. You don't need to disagree or agree. Shut your mouth. This isn't for us to live on and to grow with. I already know.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
cool to think of the three ways to listen? You remember those?
Yeah. But I forget them.
So the first
Oh,
way
to
is
be with?
that's the best way.
To be with. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way. That involves bottom up processing for sure and top down integration. Whereas the first two is to listen to agree with or to listen to disagree with. Because to listen to agree with communicates one thing: I already know. And I'm right. And the second one is to listen to disagree with, and it communicates only one thing: that I already know and that I'm right. But to listen to be with actually listens for meaning. You just added that today, my guy. Listens for meaning. It listens for their voice, their emotion, all the things to really explore what they're saying and be with them. There's no agenda. There's not, "Ah, I could probably preach Jesus Christ now." Like, what the frick, bro? Ah, there's the opportunity right there. Let me say it. Let me just give you my spiel now and no longer listen at all because I already know. Do you have anything to say that? Because I was going to switch gears to how we say things and
No.
explore that with you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, perfect. Write the statement down. I didn't say that I slept with your wife last night.
All right.
So now let's look at tone, pauses, emotion, word choice, and context, which is all bottom up processing, correct? So go ahead and say that statement with a big enunciation on the first word.
I or didn't?
I. So I'll start with the first one, and then you take us through the rest, okay? So
Okay.
I didn't say that I
That I
slept with my
slept
wife
with
last
your
night.
wife last night.
I didn't say that.
Oh, I see.
Now, do the next word.
I didn't say that I slept with your wife last night.
Next one.
I didn't say that I slept with your wife last night.
Do one more.
I didn't say that I slept with your wife last night.
Oh, sorry. The next one after that.
I didn't say that I slept with your wife last night. Ooh, that's a bad one.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And then if you keep going, I didn't say that I slept with your wife last night.
But yeah, at that point, it's just the guy who's saying it's an idiot, though.
Correct.
Yeah.
I didn't say that I slept with your wife last night.
Yeah.
I said that I slept with your wife last night. Like all those things, it's all about how we're delivering what we're saying. And in the midst of that, you communicated so many different things.
Yeah, that's a good exercise. Sometimes I feel like it's not that obvious. Like sometimes people enunciate things that make the sentence or statement more obscure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's say a simple question, where are the keys? Where are the keys, Alex? Where are the keys? Like, just the enunciation, the tone, the pauses.
Yeah, if you take longer on the word where, it's like they've been looking for a while.
Right, Alex? Right.
Yeah.
Where are the keys?
Like, where are the keys?
I love you.
It's like, I'm done with this shit.
Right. Where are the motherfucking keys? Lord
I
forgive
mean,
me.
that definitely helps with the meaning.
Right.
Yeah. Mother, father.
Yeah, I'm mother, father upset right now.
Yeah. But yeah, man, to bring it full circle, I just feel like even in conversations, talking about regular things,
Yeah.
there are so many people who run to meaning or assume meaning and respond to that assumption.
Right.
You know, if I say I'm struggling, you know, you could assume that I don't have a good connection with God. You know, go here in the Bible right now, you'll be saved.
Right. You
Or
figure
I'm
it out now.
struggling, you know, or like let's say it's a different example. I'm struggling with being happy. You assume it's mental health. You know, like, get off your phone. It's like, okay, I wasn't on it. You know, like
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's good. That was so good.
yeah. So I, yeah, man,
Get
it's
off your
just
phone. Get a job.
it's like it's and that's been a big pain for me is not being seen
Right.
just clearly in that struggle, you know, because what every individual struggles with is like really also finding clarity of what the struggle actually is. If you can just help someone see themselves clearly in what is not going right, the identification of the struggle helps so much.
Right. Right.
You know, so now you give someone an answer or an advice, you're adding vices to their life all of a sudden for a problem they don't even know.
Dang.
Like they don't even know the problem, and you're giving them an answer.
That's good. You're adding a vice. That's so
Yeah.
good, bro.
Yeah, so it just leads me to question the way in which I, as a person, can point people to God or point people to love or just point people to, I don't know, being happy or being more authentic or more abundant. It's not a lesson on God. It's not a lesson on abundance. It's not a lesson on authenticity. It's a question that leads them down to their own light. And then, what do you think? This is what's helped me. What do you think? You know, what do you feel? I have 5 different things that have helped me greatly. Which one do you want to choose and explore?
And listen
You
to that
know?
too. When you say, what do you feel? Right? How about they don't know and they start to express more things and then you help label? Does it feel like this? Yes. That's what it was. Oh man, that's heavy. Not even going to a solution. You know what I mean? Is it feeling like this? Like, yes. Wow. Are you okay? That sucks. Instead of, oh, it's anger. Well, it's probably because of this. And this is what you need to do. What?
That's the old dynamic that just doesn't work anymore.
Right.
You know what I recognize too is when I have like complex problems that I know people won't understand, like let's say it's about authenticity or something, I just don't have anyone immediate to mirror back what I'm saying. I'll talk to ChatGPT, and what's so interesting is I'm recognizing now that when I talk to it, I'm not talking to it to hear what it answers. I'm actually talking to it to just process and clearly label what
Right.
I'm going through. And I'm noticing myself reading the answer and being like, I almost don't even need to read this. Like I'm feeling better almost already.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
it's just like when I was hanging out with my friend a couple days ago as well. He is going through some things and he's talking to me, and just I can see that he hasn't had someone just listen to him in a very long time. So
Wow.
as he keeps talking and as I keep just nudging different questions that come up for me, he's getting so much out of that.
Wow.
That's all he needed.
Yes.
He didn't need anything else, you know?
Dude, that's
like-
good.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is people don't even need the help. They just need
already have
to
the
be
answer.
seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
you. Period. Dude, that's good, man. You know, I think that that's something that we can hold space on our school community too, is like just where people can bottom up process together. Like maybe that's a whole topic on one of the first things. You and I teach that on like a little bit of authenticity, a little bit of like what is bottom up processing? What is it like to listen to learn and learn to listen? Like what does that even mean? You know, and then you and I maybe give an example, and then we ask someone in the crowd to bring something up.
Yeah. Yeah,
And maybe
it's
they get to rotate that or something like someone, or it, depending on how large it gets, we can find a sequential way to get to hear everyone in a way.
yeah. Yeah, 100%. Heaven percent.
100%, bro. I love you.
Yeah. I wanted to say something good, but I forgot about it. Oh yeah. So what's really funny is something I'll also say regarding bottom up processing. Now, in the spiritual community, which is also a stereotype that like I don't subscribe to anything, but it's
Yeah.
funny how I can see like all the different belief systems and how they operate. The spiritual community will listen way too much. Like say you're saying something to me and you're like, yeah, you know, I got wrestling practice, I got this, and I'm just like, you know? And I'm just like, thank you.
Wow.
I feel you in my feet
Right.
and in my entire body.
divine.
It's like, thank you for telling me you have to go to the bathroom.
Right.
It's, and that's to a point where you
See,
can
now
see
I
how
almost
it gets
said that's
distorted.
courageous. Like, thank you for telling me you have to go to the bathroom. That was courageous, but that'd be too far.
It's way too far. It's not
Yeah,
authentic.
no, you can't label it. You can't say courageous.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
but you
good,
can
bro.
you see how in each in each in each way that communication and relationships suffer is all because we think that we have to do something. We think we have to share, or we think we have to listen, or we think we have to be this person when you really just have to be.
Right.
You don't have to be this type of person, this persona, this one who like, you know, it's just weird. I've had people do that to me. It's like what? I went to hockey last night. You don't have to go, you know, like,
Right.
it's just it's like two different sides of distortions when I think that the balance of just authentic communication and listening and finding the meaning is the answer.
And listen to that too, like there's no balance. There's a balancing, right? In the fact that sometimes I'm gonna be more on the feeling side, sometimes I'm gonna be more on this side. And like that's okay. If I mess up a bit, it's the fact that I'm ing all the time and always growing my awareness of where I am, and the fact that the person that I'm talking to, Alex motherfucking Karnev, also is in that space, so we can be with each other in that space and bring each other to the better space.
Yeah. Where did you find ing versus ed? Like when you say healing versus healed, because that is actually, I'm starting to learn that is
It,
crazy for the brain, like how limiting and how expansive it is.
yeah.
Where'd you learn that?
So it was a very divine experience. So when I first started leading groups as a tech, which is not legal, PBH, Parkview Behavioral Health. I was a tech there for the 3 years that I was in the doctorate program. And there's all kinds of stories there that we can maybe dive into soon, but I got to become TRS, Therapeutic Recreational Specialist, which you have to have a counseling degree in. But they were so low staffed that they went and looked at all the techs that connect the most of the patients, and number two are the highest qualified. And since I was a doctorate student in my second year, they're like, Jimmy is the closest. Let's do a little bit of training for him and throw him in there with the wolves. And that's exactly what happened. I met with one of the guys that's the counselor, TRS, and he showed me this giant booklet that has a bunch of groups in it. And he's like, good luck. Here's a scripture, see ya. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? And so he gave me that book, and I'm looking through it, and I found a lot of groups that I do still today from that book. And there was one in there that said help, hope, and healing. And I found in one of the drawers, I'm just like looking all over this. I'm kind of freaking out. I've never done this. Like led a group of 25 people with very severe psychotic illnesses to lead them to the truth about themselves and help them grow. Because they're on 72-hour holds or they're there for a week, one of those time frames. And some want to be there and some don't. But it said help, hope, and healing. And then there was these green bands, wristbands, that I used to have a bunch of them. But help, hope, and healing was on that. And I actually created the group of what it means. What does help mean to you? What does hope mean to you? And what does healing mean to you? And one of my biggest awareness of my own self, probably the second group that I did, I realized help is give and take. Hope is, what is the definition of hope? Well, it's having the expectation that somehow someone or something is going to change your circumstances for the better. So that's attitude and expectations then, right? And attitude is gratitude, if we want the best attitude, not positive and negative. And then expectations are actually need to be calibrated on yourself, not other people, because you're going to be frustrated and pissed off. And then healing. And I crossed off the ing and put ed. I was like, what's the difference there? People think that they're going to be healed, but that's not how it works. It's healing forever. And that's, if all of you could understand that here at PBH, you're not going to keep coming back as much, because you finally recognize that it's a journey. And you're always going to be healing, and that you can look at the whole staircase and where you've been and where you are, and that you're not here yet, and that's okay. Yeah. Thanks for asking that. Never told that story.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, man.
I feel like I've really had the experience of understanding that, you know, when I enter these high states of consciousness, dude, I'm like, yep, I'm high. I'm up there, you know? And I was actually thinking like, wow, like, yeah, I'm up there, you know? I'm up there. And as soon as I say I'm up there, my brain goes, yep, we're up there. All right, like, let's focus on something else. Yet the experience is, I can't ignore the experience that I am learning more. My brain is trying to cut it off and be like, yep, I'm here.
I
But
know.
the experience of being there, you're constantly learning, right?
Wow.
And it's not that you always have to be at a high state of consciousness to be learning, but it just made me think of like, wow, as soon as I said, like, I'm conscious, I am up there in terms of my consciousness, my brain said, like, yep, let's stop focusing on it. And I was like, whoa, that is not a good thing. It's literally, the brain's like, almost like check the box of this experience, check the box, stop working, check the box, you know?
Wow.
And I found that it just brought me back to, dang, the brain stops working when we think we know something. So it's important to always keep the ing, knowing, learning process, even when we're sharing deep beliefs that have helped us, you know?
Yeah. Brain stops working when we think. When we think, we know. That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good, bro. And that's why having a coach and life and just a great circle is so vitally important to help us realize that we do not know. And that in the knowingness that we can continue to know more and find more in the ing, because it's a beautiful process.
It's such a paradox. It almost doesn't make sense when we say it. Like the more we don't know, the more we know. You know, it's because the more we don't know, the more we open ourselves to experiencing love and like we understand. You know,
We understand.
and
Yes.
that is an experience of true knowing.
Right.
You know, knowing that like definition of knowing for most people is trivia. You know, that person knows a lot of things. They can answer
Right.
the trivia questions well.
Yeah.
The shallowness of that type of knowing though is kind of discouraging. You know, when you know a lot of things, but they're all just things you know. It's like it's
No,
just
there's no growth.
it's just a thing. It's just a word that you hear and a word that you respond to that initial word. You know,
Right.
peanut
Yeah.
butter goes good with jam. I know that. Now it's different to experience taking a bite of it, and that's the difference I find with like knowing and the known. And I don't want my brain to stop working. Like
No.
if we humble ourselves and we say, I don't know, but I'm like continuing to learn. Even if we do have experiences of deep faith and knowingness inside, it just grows that, you know?
Wow. Look at why people stop, why they have to know. It's for safety.
Yeah.
The illusion of safety. Because there's only two states. This was Aristotle and Plato and all these philosophers that like demonstrated this. So did Jesus. But they showed how there's only two states. We always thought that there was growth, stability, and then decay. But that's not true. If you look at the wood floors in here, are they in growth or decay?
Decay.
The tree outside, growth or decay?
Maybe both.
That tree is mostly in growth. There
Yeah.
is some decay, right? But the primary state of it is growth. And so you can't be in stability. The hardwood floor is stability. No, it's decay. There's only one or the other. And you can't have both.
Ah, I see. And yeah, so when you think you know things, you are decaying.
Yeah. You're not growing anymore. That's good. Unless the knowing is you providing yourself with validation and affirmation. Thank you, beautiful. Thanks, love. You providing yourself validation, affirmation. These are one of the new cups I just got. Fueled by Jesus and coffee.
And coffee.
Wow. But isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that coffee and chocolate milk was so motherfucking good. I didn't know that.
So
Until
now after drinking it, I guess you do know it, but it's only because you had the experience of drinking it. A lot of people think they know things just because they just
Right.
like intellectually
Yeah. Maybe
without the
honey
experience.
and chocolate milk would be good. You know?
Okay, so true knowing is when you can experience something on the inside, right? Maybe that's what true knowing is. So, for this example, you know what your favorite foods are because the experience inside has validated that. So, that is true knowing. Same with faith. You know faith, you know God because the experiences inside have
Right.
shown
It's
you.
foundational belief. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Versus
the
just straight
awareness
up.
and the growth is so powerful too that I also understand that my gustatory cortex changes every 5 years. So my taste buds will change too. So my favorite foods will change when I'm open to it. And that I might just learn more and build more on the belief or destroy more of it and realign it of my belief with faith if I stay open, because I'm open to everything and attached to nothing but God and myself. So what is God? Well, let's keep asking the question, shall we?
Yeah.
We're good, bro.
Yeah, people who are not open are not as fun. I'll just say
Period.
that.
Period. I know that.
You want to do this thing? No. You want to try this? No.
No, I know that I don't like it. Well, you've never done it with me, so you didn't do it with me, so that's a new experience.
And I mean, this is also a opportunity to dive in and explore. Why? You know?
Right. Bro.
Because you've never done it with me is kind of like I don't know if that's gonna get people to actually want to do it. It's kind of like okay,
I don't
buddy,
want to do
like,
it
whatever.
even more now.
Yeah.
But no, and it's funny. I wouldn't say that. Well, it depends on the level of rapport that I have with the person, the connection. But I would think it. Due to my awareness, and depends on what I'm trying to get you to do, like ultimate frisbee. Let's say that you are just like not for it. You do not want to go experience and experiment with it with me. And I'm like, huh. Well, I know that you haven't played with me yet. So I know that there's a new experience awaiting. So now let me ask questions.
Dude, you know what I just thought about too?
What's that?
Being able to tell a story is how to actually influence people in an artistic way. So I think that you actually can help people like almost feel inspired or awaken something within to go in the direction that you recommend, but it has to be artistic.
It's story.
Yeah, so
Or ask
it's
a
not
question.
that.
That's artistic too.
Yeah, so
Ask
asking
a
the
good quality
question,
is this dude. Dang.
find the meaning by asking questions, and then tell a story. Obviously, if they're open to it,
Yes.
just hammering the meaning of the thing that they desire. So I don't want to play
Huge.
ultimate frisbee with you, dude, because when I played ultimate frisbee with you last time, there were fights all the time, you know, and I don't know, like, and let's say you asked me the question and we dove into that. So the meaning was that I felt unsafe on the field. And then you don't say, I'm going to tell you a story, right?
No.
But you do respond in a way that you see me, you find the meaning, and then you tell this maybe inspiring story about a time in your life when safety got transmuted into glory or something.
Right. Yes. Dude, that's so good. Well, you know what I just realized? God is so good, bro. Like, I love communication so much. So this Maddox kid that was quitting, I did tell a story. I told him a story of a wrestler that started his freshman year, JV, the whole first year. So Maddox is already above that, right? JV lost 90% of his matches, even in JV. How discouraging. Holy mother father, right? Sophomore year. And since season ended, he just dove into wrestling. Like all the summer stuff, freestyle, Greco, like did everything, right? Sophomore year, varsity, second in state. What? Junior year, second in state. Senior year, state champion. I told him that story. His subconscious can preserve the learnings. Because facts tell, but stories sell.
Now the question is, like, being a very good storyteller is also a very important part of it.
Good.
Like, dude, have you heard people just tell stories on stage to the point where you can't turn it off? Because that exists, and there's a level of detail that you need to leave in and leave out, and there's
Right.
like obviously an art form around it.
Yes.
So I think that for the both of us and for everyone watching, like, I'm doing Vin Jang. I don't know how to
Oh, I
pronounce
love
his last
him.
name.
I love him.
I'm going through his communication course actually like now through
Sweet.
his notebook, and he's got a bunch of examples of people telling stories, and it's like I'm just like, oh my god, and it's like better than YouTube videos, and it's just a guy with a microphone,
Cool.
and that's the level of
Oh,
like persuasion and influence you can have
Dude.
on people, and when you can wrap up the entire story and then say the most important line at the end, which is I tell you this story because, and you wrap it up beautifully and you tie it and you snipe through the
chunking
meaning.
it up.
Yeah, you find the meaning.
You snipe what? The
And
meaning? Is that you said?
you snipe the meaning, you touch their heart, and that's the art form of I get it. You
I
know?
love
It's
that.
gives them an experience of understanding. Yeah.
See, I'm sorry that we're ending this podcast right now because I want to ask so many more questions to what the techniques are and such because I know that that's going to be amazing.
I'll give you a couple quick right now, just to wrap it up. But maybe we'll dive deeper another time. All right. So
yeah.
embodying the characters, details, timing, vocal range, speed, and again, I can share this stuff with you. But just so
Yeah.
people know, you can watch Vin Gang on YouTube as well. Storytelling. It's all about creating a movie, creating an experience, embodying the characters, the tone, and then like even stepping aside in the other direction to embody the other characters. Pausing, showing a video that adds more context. So there's all these different
You are
things
literally
that we
him.
can do.
I literally saw him in you just now. That's so cool.
Thank you, man.
That's good.
I appreciate you. But yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's I think that's what the answer is.
Yeah. Dude, I think what I was getting at is just like all these techniques and our awareness and our ing of our growing constantly, it's going to make this school community so powerful with Heaven%. Like there's going to be learning, there's going to be connecting, there's going to be like so much beautiful access that everyone's going to want to tap into. I would pay $50 a month for the next 10 years for that.
Yeah, maybe we can have like some I feel like it's gonna round out so nicely,
Yeah.
and it's going to be such a family that people are gonna want to join just because of that.
Period. Yeah.
I haven't seen the podcast, but it's a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, let's
Yeah.
go. You down to break it down with gratitude? Because I do have to roll. I am thankful. I don't have to. I get to wrap some presents, do some cleanup, all
Yeah.
those kind of things. And I'm beyond honored that you and I got to experience what we got to experience today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Me as
that is
well,
my
man.
gratitude. I'm going to say that I'm thankful for you, my guy. I'm thankful for these lessons. I'm thankful for the consciousness and the bottom up processing that I will continue to embrace every moment that God provides that I know is not promised.
Well said. Well said. I honor the opportunity to have a podcast like this one, as I do every single week, and I'm grateful for you, grateful for you as well, Barrett, and I'm very grateful for the clarity of my values and how they can be manifested through opportunities like this, where I can learn more about how much I value honesty and integrity and saying what's on my mind and feeling safe. Like there's all these things that I value and that we can continue to create more of. And creating the family that we almost wish we had. It's also
Whoa.
something our inner child deeply wants. So the fulfillment from that will be otherworldly, because that's what it stands for, is Heaven%. And grateful to be continuing to shape myself and shape the world around us in the way that not that we see fit, but the way that we know is fit in our heart.
Yeah. And we get to continue to grow the knowing along the way.
Yeah. Stay freaking humble, guys.
Amen. Humility.
Humility. Yeah, not we don't know nothing.
Humble confidence, baby, right?
Amen, dude.
Dude, could I take a picture with you?
Yeah, man. Can you sign it?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you
Peace.
guys. Clerk.